Oh hi! Welcome to the party! We're currently celebrating the first anniversary of the channel. While technically the channel was born in July 2023, Pink Vanillish as it is started when I uploaded my very first video on July 29th, 2024. And while this video was not uploaded on the day of the anniversary, we're treating the whole length of the video as if it was. Had you told me a year ago I would be doing YouTube consistently, I would not have believed you. It's still kind of crazy. And add to that the fact that there's almost 4,000 of you guys here listening to me yap as of the recording of this video. I'm very grateful for what we've built and for all the silly little things we've done this year. From regular videos, story times, drawing sessions, and one Nuzlocke, it's all been very fun. And I'm very excited for the second year in YouTube will entail. And so, to start the celebration, let's kick off the anniversary Q&A. I asked you guys to drop some questions, opinions, or anything, and you guys left some, so it's time to tackle them one by one. Happy anniversary! My question is, what do you hope they'll do for the Unova Remakes? The more I think about it, the more I don't really know. It's like no matter what it is, it won't be enough to celebrate how brave Gen 5 was. Honestly, I've been flip-flopping what to expect from Unova Remakes, to the point where I've basically manipulated myself to be content with whatever we get. I thought about being happy if they made Unova an open world and 3D, or maybe if they just enhanced the look by keeping the characters and the Pokemon's 2D pixel sprites and the rest 3D, and hell, even the chibi style they did for the Diamond and Pearl remakes. I just want to see Unova again so bad. What's your favorite Pokemon type? That kind of changes every day, but the types I keep in my tiny little pedestal of love are Ice, Fairy, Normal, and Flying type. Is pink your favorite color? Kind of. I really like pink. It's a pretty empowering color. But I also want to give lavender an honorable mention. I never hear it as anyone's favorite color. Okay, so this is not about Pokemon and may sound a little weird, but are you in any way neurodivergent or part of the queer community? On a separate note, why the name of the channel? Also, happy anniversary. Thank you! Lots to unpack here, but here we go. I am a proud member of the queer community. A lot of those details are kind of personal to myself, but I am non-binary. Can't say much about the neurodivergent part because I don't know. Channel name wise, I remember wanting the name to be something kind of simple and to kind of give off 2010s PokeTuber. Specifically the part where channels kind of have a Pokemon name in their channel name. Don't know if that was a 2010s thing, but that was the thought process. So I mixed one of my favorite colors with a somewhat obscure Pokemon that I really liked, and Pink Vanillish was born. And having pink in the name gave me the perfect excuse to flood this channel with pink. The world needs a little bit more pink, you know? What's your second favorite region? Kalos. I love Unova and everything about it, but there's a very specific nostalgia that Kalos evokes that really makes me feel at home. If you could cosplay as any Pokemon or Pokemon character, which ones would you choose and why? Pokemon wise, I think I would do either a Mimikyu or a Sylveon cosplay. I think those two kind of describe my personal aesthetics really well, which is really interesting how they're complete polar opposites. I like the adorable yet spooky vibe that Mimikyu has, and for the Sylveon one, I just like the Pokemon. I think it's neat. Pokemon character-wise, Serena, point blank. I love her so much and I fell in love with her day one I saw her. And her outfits, oh my god! What is your opinion on Dexit, aka not every Pokemon in every game? I'll start my answer by saying this. Extra Pokemon should not be locked behind a paywall. Especially in this economy, I am not spending an arm and a half to add a Pokemon that should have been in the game. That said, I'm one of those people that like the fact that Pokemon Black and White forced you to use Unova Pokemon and only Unova Pokemon. Mainly for the fact that it made me break the cycle of picking the same Pokemon I always pick. It made me fall in love with so many new Pokemon, and I'm pretty happy about that. But also, you know, there's more than 1,000 Pokemon, each with their own fan clubs, and you know, I would be pissed if one of my favorite ones didn't make it. Would I be down for another region-exclusive Pokemon game? I don't know. But do not put them behind an extra paywall. Do you think Pokemon should adopt the Pokemon Black and White approach, despite people wanting old Pokemon in their journeys? Basically my answer to the previous question, but I can say this. If it was something like they did in Gen 5, where you have the first games in the region be the Unova exclusive, and then have the one game with the rest of the Pokemon, I think that would be a neat compromise. Less so in the sequel aspect, but maybe it's like a Crystal Platinum situation where it's another version of the main games, except this one has the entire Pokedex. Maybe that's something that could be done so everyone kind of gets what they want. So, do you think that every Pokemon that you can use should be available before the 7th gym, or even earlier so they don't miss out on the majority of the game? Yes! Especially because there's so many Pokemon that are pretty forgotten because of their late availability, and add to that, they're kind of rare, and it's like they never existed. I don't think they should all be available from the get-go, but they should be distributed just enough so they all get a chance to be seen, caught, and used in a journey. If you were to give all the mainline series Pokemon a difficulty of either easy, medium, hard, or extreme, what would they be and why? Ooh, I'm probably the least qualified person to do this, but I'll give my unprofessional opinions. I haven't played some of these games in a while, but I'll give it a shot. Blue and Red, extreme. Good god, those games are broken. Gold and Silver and Crystal, hard. From what I remember, they were definitely less broken than the previous games, but they were still pretty hard. Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, somewhere in the medium hard. Honestly, I think those would be my picks for Pokemon newbies to start their Pokemon pipeline. Same with Fire Red and Leaf Green, but those are more medium. Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, hard. My god, the balancing in those games is tough. And Cynthia. Fucking Cynthia. Heart Gold and Soul Silver, medium hard. A very hard game to level up your Pokemon, but fun. Black and White are medium. Pretty straightforward games. Black and White 2, hard. What a challenge that game is. Pokemon X and Y are easy. I think these games would be the perfect intro for non-gamer people to play Pokemon, but they probably wouldn't get the full experience. Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire are medium. Maybe a little hard? The XP share really makes the games a little bit easier than they should. Sun and Moon are medium. Let's Go Pikachu, easy. Although, I don't know if that's a main game. Sword and Shield are very easy. I had the shittiest team, and yet I still did pretty alright in the rest of the game. And unfortunately, for the games I didn't mention, they are games that I don't remember my experiences or I have not been able to play. Sorry. If you could be in the Pokemon world, what would be your profession? Honestly, I would love to be a Pokemon performer. I would love to have the chance to create a performance with me and my Pokemon. That would be the bee's knees. And given the chance, perhaps I could be a performer and a gym leader as well. Kinda how Elisa was a model and a gym leader. What's the future of this channel looking like? Wow, what a great question. And if you made it this far into the video, you're probably curious about it. I'll keep it nice and brief to not drag it out, but things are changing for the channel on this second year on YouTube. For starters, instead of uploading weekly every Sunday, I will be uploading every 2 weeks on Sundays. It's a change I've been contemplating for a while because it's a little difficult to keep my real life, mental health, and quality of the channel in tip-top shape at the same time. So hopefully with an extra week, I can kinda keep my shit together while at the same time delivering better content. Because yeah, hopefully with that extra week, I can work on videos more relaxed, and with that extra time, I can make videos that would be very difficult to make if I only had 1 week. But fear not, because there will be content in those 2 weeks where you don't hear from me. I spent a long time on them, but I've created and curated a bunch of YouTube shorts, enough to last me until October this year, for now. So, even if stuff happens in my life, I'll still be able to post something. There will be 2 shorts per week, and in those shorts, I have some special mini-series that will basically feel like bite-sized versions of my normal long-form content. So, be sure to check that out. My analytics tell me that my YouTube audience from long form and short form are very different, but know that those short videos are also thought for all of y'all. And they're not taking time from me from making long form videos. I mean, hey, hopefully if the week break goes well, I may be able to do another Nurse Talk again. I really want to, but I gotta organize myself first. And lastly, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I know I've repeated this multiple times, but I'm really thankful for you all and the community we've created. My life has been a roller coaster, which is something I don't want to delve into, but this channel has been kind of my one constant that's remained consistent, and I'm pretty grateful. And every time I finish a day, sometimes completely exhausted, I love opening the comment section and seeing the conversations that happen, as well as me getting the chance to join in. Sure, there's a few comments that are not the best, but the majority of you have been a joy to see in the comments. Especially since I've delved into topics that are a bit more nuanced and elaborate, I'm really happy that this is a pretty safe community. Again, from the bottom of my heart, I'm really thankful for you all, and thanks for the patience, sticking with me, and subscribing. And well, this cake is pretty much still in its entirety, so I'm gonna go finish it. Thank you so much for watching, and thanks for sticking around. Bye! Oh shit, I was supposed to share this. Oh well.